Hello and welcome to another Bushwhacker review. Today we are going to be taking a look at Jeff Gordon's 1997 Daytona 500 race win from the NASCAR Classics line. As you can see, you got your typical NASCAR Classics box. We got a big sample of the car on the front. Daytona 500, Jeff Gordon, NASCAR Classics, 1997 Chevrolet Monte Carlo number 24 DuPont. You got a little bit of a bio on the car right there if you want to read that. It is funny that this is completely all samples of the car. Like, that's a sample of the car, that's a sample of the car, that's a sample of the car. I guess, Jeff Gordon winning the Daytona 500 leaves no pictures. It's just very hard to find pictures of Jeff Gordon winning the Daytona 500. Well, whatever. Here you have some stats on the car down there. See, they made a total of 1,524 of these things. Platinum Series. All that good stuff all around. Here is the car itself in all of its Rainbow Warriors glory. And they did a fantastic job on this car. Because some of these, raced versions that they've been making in the Classics line, especially Gordon's, have been just pathetic. They've been just, spotless. Maybe, a piece of tape on the grill or something, but, they've been, spotless, clean, shiny. They're just okay, we don't have any reference photos really close to the car, so let's just not try it all. But luckily, they fixed that on this one, mainly because I think this car is sitting in the Hendrick Museum, so it was kind of hard to screw up when you can stare right at the car in front of you from, 20 years ago, but whatever. This does, of course, come with that, sort of race winner card. So you got date of race, number of liters, all that stuff. This was his 20th win. That counts as NASCAR's Premier Series. Didn't want to say Winston Cup. Anything on the back? Nope. For some reason, he seems a little flimsier than the older Classics, stat cards. But anyways, let's do a quick 360 of the car. They did seem to get the colors really right on this car. I don't know if it's perfect, but because it seems like every Jeff Gordon card they released to the Rainbow card, everyone's like, oh, no, that color's not perfect. No, this color should be slightly brighter. And it's I don't never understood that. I can usually see when colors are blatantly wrong, but some of these cards just been they don't seem that wrong at all. So, if anyone's a Jeff Gordon fan, please tell me how this one is terribly wrong. There you can see a big chunk of damage right there. But anyways, let's get down to sponsors. On the hood, you have DuPont. You got Chevrolet Monte Carlo, number 24. Down the side, you have DuPont Automotive Refinishes. You got Quaker State back there. Down there, you got Pepsi, Pedigree, Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats. You got Haas CNC, GMAC, and M60 or something. MRO, whatever that is. You got Slice 50, and you got 1-800-MARROW.2. On the B post, you have AC Delco, Skittles, and Hendrick. So you got a bunch of contingency sponsors. See, they actually did put the logo for Winston Cup, but just kind of blanked it out. I'm glad they did that, because they're not going to put Winston Cup. They can't anymore. But, I always hate it when there's just a big, huge gap where a logo's supposed to be. So that really is better. Maybe if they still put Cup, NASCAR blank Cup or something, I think it would look better. But whatever. On the back, you have DuPont Automotive Refinishes, or just Automotive Finishes. You got number 24 and Quaker State. You got DuPont Agricultural Products. This is number 696. Nothing on the roof back then, obviously. You got the same stuff down the other side as usual. Let's take a look under the hood. See that it says DuPont Quaker State. Even has some dirt and stuff under the hood. That's cool. Seems like race wins are always kind of half and half on that. Does it have marks under the hood? Does it not? Maybe sometimes there's stuff on the chassis. Maybe not. It's depends if they actually pay attention to it or not. I don't know. Take a look under the deck lid. You get your typical fuel cell and such back there. Obviously the Platinum mold didn't have roof flaps back then. There's the underside of the car if you want to see that. Worth pointing out, they didn't even put this mold on right. You can see that it's it's not really flush with the wheel well right there. You see right there kind of sticking down farther than it should. See, the edge of the hood is you can see the orange sticking through the back of the hood right there, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, see right there. Which is funny because you can actually see that on the sample on the box too. So it's they knew about it. I don't know. But whatever, what can you do? Anyways, let's get down to damage. On the front, you see it is just nice and dirty. There's a ton of little marks. You got a weird mark right there. It almost looks like maybe the hood pin pulled off some paint or something. That is on all of them. It almost looks like it's a flaw, but that is on all of them, so I don't know what that's supposed to be. I do like how there's actual tape on the actual insert piece of the grill. That is cool. See, down the left side, there's just some more dirt and grime and such. There's really nothing too major down the left side. You got a little bit of a mark right there behind the left rear tire. On the back, you have some more marks and stuff. What's that little logo? Oh, it's like a DuPont. Oh, I guess that'd be the camera, the bumper camera logo. That's cool. don't think I ever produced like a 90s car with that bumper camera logo. Down the right side, you got a few little more marks and stuff. Then you have the big bulk of the damage, which is this huge tire mark. Was that the race that I think Dale Earnhardt might have congratulated him after the race and just like slammed into him? Might have been that. I'm not entirely sure. They added like some blue around the edge of the window for some reason, but it's not the same blue as the car, so it looks kind of weird. Have to look at a picture to see if that's actually accurate or not, but it does kind of look weird. See, all the tires do have like the brake dust and everything too. They are the race tires. Just fantastic work. Like, this isn't obviously anything too crazily damaged, but it's, you know, it is better than any of the other Jeff Gordon race ones they made. I remember one of them, what was it, the Indianapolis one had like a big huge tire mark like that, but then the rest of the car was still clean. But if they can actually do retro race versions like this, then that'll be a very nice plus. Because I will buy them if they're like this. Like cool, actual, like detailed race versions from like the 1990s. That sounds awesome. But, said, they kind of blew most of them so far. They actually did make a 164 of this too. I don't have it, but they made it. So they kind of stepped their game up on this one too with the logos. Because I know some of these have been like, they've been like big blank spots. Because like, oh, we can't put Pedigree because he's not sponsored by that anymore. Oh, we can't put Quaker Steak because he's not sponsored. He's sponsored by Valvoline now. And like, it was always kind of a mess. But it seems like this one, maybe because he's finally out of the sport, we could finally just do whatever we want with cars. So, who knows? If they're going to do this, Lionel, why don't you do the 1999 Daytona 500 next? That one that I have the Revel of, because I would love a very detailed, accurate race version of that one, too. Because, you know, I do collect Daytona 500 race wins. That's the only reason I really got this one. I was kind of, when they first announced it, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Let's see if they actually fuck it up or not. And then they actually did it right, so I'm like, sweet. And I got it. If you want this car, I think it's still easy to get right now. It's still kind of new, but I don't think it's going to stay that way. Since it's actually a pretty good, detailed race version, I think it's going to get rare. So be a little bit careful on these, like, you know, production of these, because like I said, it seems like the chassis is a little wonky on a lot of these, and the hood is, so I'm not sure if you can find an accurate one, because I went through 3 of them in my local dealership, and they were all kind of wonky, so it is what it is. What I think that's $3 to say. This has been a review of Jeff Gordon's 1997 Daytona 500 race win. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.